Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, my dear students. How are you? I hope all of you fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I'm also fine. Today, I'm going to take your English second paper class. You already know me. I'm Shahriya Tasnim Billah, Assistant Teacher English, St. Xavier's High School, Khulna. And today, I'm going to take your English second paper class for class 7. So, don't waste our time and let's start it our class. To know what are you going to learn today? Today, you are going to learn all about voice. So, my dear students, at first give the title. Voice. Do you know what is it? What is voice? It is not our vocal, right? Voice. At first, you have to learn the definition of voice. So, do you know that? Voice is the formation of verb by which we can get a clear idea about a subject does the work or not. Okay? Okay, I will write down the definition in Bengali for you. Voice হলো ভার্বের গঠন। যার দ্বারা সাবজেক্ট নিজে কাজটি করে বা অন্যের কাজ তার উপর এসে করে সেটা বোঝায়। That means we get a clear idea about subject does the work or subject doesn't do the work, object do the work. Okay, now next, voice. There are two kinds of voice. Okay, write down with me. You already know that these two kinds are active voice and passive voice. Voice, two kinds, active and passive. So what is active voice and what is passive voice? Active means সক্রিয় and passive means নিষ্ক্রিয়. That means in active voice, subject does the action. Okay, I'll write down for you. Active voice. Active voice. Subject কাজটি করে। For example, That means subject does the work or action. For example, I play football. I play football. In Bengali, we can think about it. আমি ফুটবল খেলি। কাজটা কে করছে? Of course, subject. I. So, it is active voice. Now, passive voice. Subject doesn't do the work. That means object in objected pasti subject এর উপর এসে পড়বে। For example, football is played by me. Football is played by me. Here, subject doesn't do the work, and you will get at first object. Okay, এই object হচ্ছে কি ফুটবল। এই ফুটবলটা আমরা ফার্স্টে পাবো। So this is called passive voice. That means object কাজটি করছে। Football is played by me. Now, in your exam, you have to transform active voice into passive and passive into active. So, to do this, you have to follow some rules. Now come to the point. There are some rules, and at first you have to get a clear idea about tense and conjugation of verb. That means strong verb and weak verb. All tenses structure and conjugation of verbs. If you have a clear idea about that, you can solve it properly. Otherwise, not. Okay. Write down with me. Subject here, object. Subject. I. If the subject is I, you have to transform it me as an object. I, me. Next, we, us. He, him. Okay. She, her. They, them. Sorry, one is left. That means you. You. It will be you. Finish. You have to remember or learn this structure. How to transform subject into object. Now, next. We will go for next. How to change tense. কিভাবে টেন্স অনুযায়ী আমাদের চেঞ্জ করতে হবে। Okay. How to change tense. Write down with me. Present indefinite. I write down the short form present indefinite. Present indefinite. Sorry. Am, is, are. Auxiliary verb. That means we have to change the auxiliary verb here, and to do this we have to learn about tense first. Present indefinite. I'll write down the indefinite from here. At first, past indefinite was, were. Present indefinite am, is, are. Past indefinite was, were. Next, future. Future indefinite shall be, will be. Shall be or will be. Present indefinite am, is or are. Past indefinite was or were. And future indefinite shall be or will be. Now next, I clean it up. Next, present continuous. Present continuous. Here, I write down the short form here also. Present continuous. Am, being, is being, or are being. Present continuous am being, is being, or are being. Next, past continuous. Past continuous was being, were being. Was being, were being. Next, future continuous. Future continuous. Shall be being, will be being. shall be been, were, will be, been. My dear students, did you notice that in present indefinite tense there were amizer, right? Auxiliary as an auxiliary verb, and we only add here been. Same way, in the past continuous tense there are was and were, and we add here only been. Same way, in future continuous tense there are shall be and will be, and we add here been. Okay, now we'll go for next. That means present perfect. Write down with me. Present perfect. Present perfect. Have been, or has been. Next, past perfect. Only had been. Next, future perfect. Future perfect. Shall have been, or will have been. So my dear students, notice it very carefully. In your tense structure, present perfect tense, the structure is subject, have, has, V3 object, and here only add been, right? Same way, in tense structure, the structure is subject, had, V3 object, and we add here only been. Next, same way, future perfect tense, the structure is subject, shall have, will have, plus V3 plus object, and we add here only been. Did you get it? That means tense যে structure আছে সেটা কি আছে, subject, have, has, V3 object. শুধুমাত্র তোমাদের মনে রাখতে হবে কি, যখনই প্রেজেন্ট পারফেক্ট টেন্স থাকবে এই হ্যাভ হ্যাজ এর সাথে অনলি বিন আমরা অ্যাড করব। সেম ওয়ে হ্যাড এর সাথে অনলি বিন, এন্ড ফিউচার পারফেক্টে শ্যাল হ্যাভ, উইল হ্যাভ এর সাথে অনলি বিন। ওকে, নাও হাউ টু ডু ভয়েস, কিভাবে আমরা ভয়েস চেঞ্জ করব। At first, I'll write down the example for you. He okay, this example is already given, so I'll write down another example. He painted the house, and bracket there will be passive. My dear students, that means in your exam you get this type of sentence, and here the instruction will be given, right? একটা সেন্টেন্স দেওয়া থাকবে, কি করতে হবে, অ্যাক্টিভ নাকি প্যাসিভ সেটা তোমাদের ব্র্যাকেটে দেওয়া থাকবে. So from the sentence we already understand that it's an active sentence because subject does the work. Subject যেখানে কাজটা করছে এখানে, সুতরাং আমরা বুঝতে পারছি কি এটা একটা অ্যাক্টিভ সেন্টেন্স এবং আমাদের কি করতে হবে, এটাকে প্যাসিভ করতে হবে. So the common rule for changing voice. Common rule is object subject. That means we have to transform object into subject as a subject. Next, auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb according to tense. According to tense, that means tense অনুসারে. Write down it in Bengali. Tense অনুযায়ী. Next, V3. That means verb past participle form. Next, by. And at last subject will be object. That means subject a objective form. Subject. Now you have to follow this rule, then you can get the answer properly. At first, object. What is the object here? Do you know the object? You have to remember that at first you will get subject, after that you will get verb, that means main verb or auxiliary verb, after that you will get object. That means you will get object after the main verb, right? কিভাবে তোমরা অবজেক্ট চিনবে? মেইন ভার্বের পরে সাধারণত অবজেক্ট থাকে. মেইন ভার্ব তো বুঝতেই পারছো, কোনো কিছু করা, যাওয়া, হওয়া, খাওয়া, কোনো কিছু করা বোঝালে সেটা কি মেইন ভার্ব. সেই মেইন ভার্বের পাশে যেটা থাকবে সেটাই হচ্ছে কি অবজেক্ট. সো হিয়ার অবজেক্ট is the house and we use it as a subject. So the house. Next, auxiliary verb. Tense, according to tense, right? According to tense, that means before some time ago I showed you some structure. You have to follow this. The house, okay? What type of tense is this? This is past indefinite tense. So we'll take here was or were. The house. So we'll take here was. The house was. Auxiliary verb. Tense onujai. Finished. Next, V3. Verb in past participle form. That means V3 painted. The main verb is paint and its V3 form is painted. The house was painted. Next, by. Next, subject. That means you have to transform it. So he, him. Okay, now the house was painted by him. That is the general rule, and you have to follow this rule to do wall voice. Now, my dear students, no more today. Next class, I'll show you another example and I'll show you the rest. No more today. See you soon. Thank you.